So we see sattvic diet means what? The three purposes of food. We have to remember the three purposes of food. They are very, very important. So the three purposes of food are uh, Ayusham, Tejam, Arogyam. So Ayusham, Tejam, Arogyam. So whatever you eat should give you a long duration of life. Tejam, it should purify the mind and it should aid bodily strength. It should aid bodily strength. So when we are cooking, we have to choose ingredients that are uh, we have to choose ingredients that are beneficial for these above said purposes. Now today's class, what I want to do is also I want to keep the chat window open so that I want it a little interactive rather than me speaking continuously. So you can chat your questions. You can, by chat, you can ask your questions as I'm speaking. Number two is you can also, in between, like I want to ask some questions. For example, let's start with the first question. So you can answer in the chat window rather than everybody having to unmute and everything, whoever can answer. So basically, like how many of us have bread as a matter of fact? Hmm? So you can, on a regular basis. So you can just chat your answer. I really want to know because one of the things that is very bad to eat hmm, is uh, is bread, frankly speaking. White flour, bleached flour. So homemade bread is still good. There was one uh, lady who was doing a cooking show, and devotee. I mean, whatever you call devotee. And she was showing how to make bread. I was like, I mean, if you actually see bread, onion, garlic, these are considered food for poor people. Means poor people means uh, so whole wheat. I make bread out of whole wheat recently. Yes, so that makes sense. So best thing is, so what is the most important component of food? So what I'm trying to explain here is whether to use yeast in the bread. Yes, you cannot use when you use yeast in the bread, it cannot be offered to Krishna. Second is lot of our devotees eat soya. I'm sure many of you eat, even in temple also. Um, so basically it is so a lot of soya, so to speak. Mm. So soya, as we see, is very, very bad for health. Mm. In the sense, why is soya grown? Soya is grown to fatten animals. Soy is grown to fatten animals. Bread was made just ऐसे ही, मतलब थोड़ा filler. Both are unofferable to Krishna. Soya and bread are actually unofferable to Krishna. So what we are eating is basically that is unofferable to Krishna. So it is unofferable to the Vishnu in your stomach also. Remember, we discussed that there is Vishnu in the stomach who is the digestive fire. Now it is a fire. Now this fire, when you throw lot of things, so overeating, what happens? The fire goes away. It's like you're cooking. So when you cook, your fire and the pot should match. You cannot have a big fire and a small pot. Whatever size, you adjust the size of the gas, right? So stomach also there is cooking. So that is why drinking water during eating, these are all not good. Similarly, overeating, this will douse the fire. So you have to add fire, you have to drink water only at periodic times, means half an hour before food or half an hour after food, in that way. Now, what is the most important component of food? The physical aspect is the third. But the first and the second aspect of food is increase the duration of life. To increase duration of life, that is important. Second is to purify the mind. So to increase duration of life, ayusham, so you should eat food. So what is the yogic definition of good health? I don't know if I have explained this. The yogic definition, the Ayurvedic definition of good health. Samadoshaha samagnischa samadhatu malakriyah prasanna atmendriya manaha swasta ityavidhiyate. Samadoshaha means in your body there is kapha, pitta, vata. Now all these kapha, pitta, vata, when they are balanced, so kapha, pitta, vata should be balanced. Means what happens in your body? Kapha is the physical aspect of your body. Pitta is all the digestive juices of the body and mind. For example, you have two pitta in the body. One is the digestive fire of the stomach and one the digestive fire in the head. Remember, your mind is also digesting thoughts. Your mind is also digesting thoughts. So whatever you see is also affecting your digestion. So you watch too much television, too much phone, that also affects your digestion. Why? Because eyes are also Agni Tattva. I'm seeing like because of my Chandrayana course, I am doing individual classes for so many devotees. I'm literally 10 to 12 hours after this class today. I have 9 straight appointments, except for lunch, 9 straight appointments after this. So you can imagine, I'm continuously looking at the screen. So what does it affect? But of course, I do tratak and all that to relieve the stress in the eyes, to increase the Agni Tattva. So your eyes are Agni Tattva. So that Agni, the Agni in the Pitta. So when you don't sleep, for example, if you don't sleep whole night, where do you feel the stress? One is in the belly, you feel that heat. Another heat you feel in the head, because there is Pitta there also, your brain also. So whenever you see too many things, whenever you try to process too much information, the brain afterwards gets messed up. So that is why pitta is in two places. So that pitta, basically all the chemicals, they are released. So all the organs, they release chemicals, and that's the way they communicate with each other. When you eat something that the body doesn't want, acidity, it produces acid, means that's the way it is reacting. So, so pitta is the collection of all the fluids, all these acidic chemicals in the body. And what is vata? Vata is the most important. Vata means that which flows. Srila Prabhupada explains, I was amazed how Srila Prabhupada explains that all the diseases are caused by the improper flow. So in your body, you can imagine food is transmitted from one end of the pipe to the other. So how does water transmit in a pipe? Because of pressure. So one end is a high pressure, one end is a low pressure, right? That's how water is transmitted. One end is high pressure, one end is low pressure. So similarly in our body, when you eat, one end is high pressure, one end is low pressure. You see, खाना अटक जाता है तो क्या होता है? You get dakar or like that, you know, you get dakar aa jata hai. So there is a air. So air has to, so that is why it is said one should eat half stomach. So Prabhupada says when this air is blocked, when this air circulation is blocked, interestingly Prabhupada says this also affects your mind. So this also affects your mind. So this also affects your mind. So, so in the mind, there is also flow of air, which takes care of the flow of thoughts. And Srila Prabhupada says that even mental diseases are caused by blockage of flow of air or improper flow of air. It's like I'm trying to do a, you know, like clean the floor with a jet nozzle, right? You have a, just like these firefighters use when they use that nozzle to go to higher to go to a further region, the jet nozzle has to have a very high pressure. So similarly in your body also it is working the same way. But when the pressure is too high, it could damage the building. So I'm trying to clean the floor. If the pressure in the water is too high, then it will damage the, you know, floor. But if it is too low, it won't clean. It has to be the optimum pressure. So similarly in our body also, sometimes we think something, but it is getting blocked. Why? It is foggy, we say, foggy. So that is another air manifestation. So then the thought doesn't flow. So in our body there is Sukshma Nadi and Jada Nadi. So the food flows in the Jada Nadi, the blood flows in the Jada Nadis, and in the Sukshma Nadis, the thoughts flow. So Lord Shiva explains all this. And that is why in the, which book is that? In the Uddhav Gita. In the Uddhav Gita, the Lord explains, in the Uddhav Gita, the Lord explains about Nadi Shodhana Pranayam. Kapila Muni also explains about Nadi Shodhana Pranayam. So basically, why I'm explaining about this pressure, because overeating leads to too much pressure. Eating very little, I'm not talking when you do a proper fast, I'm talking about on a regular basis, if you don't eat at proper times, because at certain times the body is ready. So that is when Agni is high. So you have to eat at proper times. So that is why Krishna says, he cannot become a yogi who doesn't eat at all or eats too much. doesn't sleep at all or sleeps too much. So there has to be a balance. The next point is that samadosha samagnischa. So when you eat food, what happens in your body? It digests at 7 levels. So they are called 7 dhatus. So when you eat the food, it becomes rasa, digested food. Then it becomes rakta. So rakta means blood. So then it becomes mamsa. So mamsa is muscle. Muscles are digested, it becomes medas. So medas is fat. Now fat is digested, it becomes uh, so fat is digested, it becomes what do you call it? Asti, bone. Bone is digested, it becomes bone marrow. When bone marrow is digested, it becomes virya, or semen, or spiritual energy, ojas. So when he says 7 dhatus, so 7 dhatus that I talked about, samadosha samagnischa. So there are 7 agnis in your body that digest the 7 dhatus, and there are 7 byproducts also. Like hair is a byproduct. So people want nice hair. So hair is actually one of the waste byproduct of the 7 processes. So a yogi always takes out hair. He doesn't want waste products. Sleshma, cuff, all this is all waste product. Nails, they are all waste products. Stool, urine, they are all waste products. Sweat, they are also waste products. So all this malakriya, all these waste products should also be clean. Sometimes too much hair, this also leads to mental identification with the body in Kali Yuga. I'm not talking about ladies, because ladies' hair is another ornament, but especially for men. But of course, hair should be treated in a certain way. But for men, especially, Prabhupada did not want long, nice hair. Some people live with hairstyle. Somehow, after that, even though I'm grasta, I don't like keeping big hair, because one, it is difficult to maintain, and I mean, how you can stand in front of mirror and comb yourself? It's a difficult thing. So I don't do all that. So I've seen many nice devotees. They shave, So because hair is one of the waste products. Hair is one of the byproducts of it's like stool basically. Hmm? It is also said that why do you shave the head of a child during the first year? It is because all the sins from previous life, they come in the form of hair. So that is why the Mundan Samskar is done. So when that is done, now he can do fresh sins. I mean to say, but now his life begins afresh. All the previous sins are gone. So anyway, coming back to the definition of good health, samadoshaha, so the 3 doshas should be balanced. Samagnischa, the 7 agnis should be balanced. Samadhatu, so the 7 dhatus that I spoke about, they should be in balance. If there is too much fat, so when you eat too much fried, oily, there is too much fat, then what happens? If the next level of digestion doesn't happen, he has too much fat, too little muscle. That is why fasting can change a lot of things. Samadhatu malakriya, and also all the waste should be eliminated. Prasanna atmendriya manaha. At the same time, the yogi's senses should be peaceful. You can test if your health is good when your senses are controlled. When your senses are uncontrolled, that is the sign that your health is also not good. When you have a lusty desire, so that reflects in your food, that reflects in what you do. When you are thoughtful, peaceful, methodical, that's when your health is good. When your health is not very good, that's when you realize that it is not just the health, but it is also the state of mind. So he says that prasanna atma indriya manaha. So he's adding that component, that health doesn't mean just I feeling good. Health also means your senses are controlled. So many people have good body, big body, gym body, but they are all attracted to movies and all crazy things. I don't want to get into that. Or eating meat and things like that. Even among devotees, kitna soya khate hain. So much soya, 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 soya. And they want pakoda, heavy, heavy food. So that is all lack of sense control. If you want to please Krishna, then we should keep the body as a temple. I want to keep it only in Sattva Guna. I don't want to associate with Rajo Guna. So too much chili, too much masala, too much fried, all these things. Even Prabhupada used to eat fried, but it was only in ghee. The only things allowed to cook basically are ghee and not store bought ghee. I'm sure a lot of devotees in Bombay and everywhere, they are now making India like own handmade ghee. It's a little expensive, but I would suggest. I spoke to one devotee 2 days ago. I was interviewing for my Chandrayaan. He said by eating that ghee, that healthy ghee, all his cholesterol went away. So all this hocus pocus humbug saying that ghee is cholesterol, no. Ghee purifies cholesterol. Ghee is deepanam. Ghee is digestive. Similarly, sesame oil. Sesame oil is also vata hara. It kills vata. So basically, as devotees, we should eat food which is nourishing to the body and mind, which controls the senses. Hmm. So I've seen, like, for example, let us take heavy food. So what are heavy foods? For example, paneer, matar. Paneer is heavy. It should not, it is milk. So one should not add salt to milk. So that it becomes poison already. And then you have, on top of it, you have matar. So paneer matar. Can you imagine? So it's so heavy on your digestion. So what happens is you may not notice it grows, but on a subtle platform, it does stress you out. It does stress the mind. It does stress the mind because now what is happening? Your digestion is heavy. All the air is being directed there. All the vayu, all the pressure. So all the pressure that needed to be maintained to think properly. So that's why after eating heavy, you have to sleep. What happens? Because all the thinking capacity, all the moving capacity, everything goes away because all the pressure is directed there. It was very difficult for me to understand. But when I read Prabhupada's explanation of air pressure, that's when I realized why eating heavy. Because the body is a certain pressure bag. You can imagine a plastic bag with so many other, you can imagine a plastic bag with so many other small bags around it, like a child using to float in the water, like a tire. Now imagine that tire has many columns, okay, like many small. So one of them you put a heavy stone. So what is happening? The whole tire is going towards that side. It is trying to sink that side. So similarly, what happens when you eat heavy? The whole body, it is trying to balance that pressure and all the other pressure. So you have to sleep so that till the balance, because the body needs to go into a state of rest to digest it. So imagine a yogi means he eats light. Sattvam laghu prakashakam. What is the guna, sattva guna? What is the benefit of sattva guna? Laghu prakashakam. So laghu means light, prakashakam, knowledge. There is a joke Shamsundar Prabhu used to say. Uh, so he said that he said Shubhanjaya is a good astrologer before lunch. what happens after lunch? so so that is the point, is that then your pressure capacity goes down. So it is all about pressure. Pranayama is all about pressure. Maintaining concentration is also about balancing pressure. So when you eat too much, how can you chant nicely? So imagine you are eating 3 times a day heavy, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So heavy, heavy, heavy. Then you are just a digesting machine. I was traveling with Jayadvaita Maharaj. He eats so little. He's always sharp and awake. But what is that? He said, Maharaj, why don't you eat when so many people are offering you Mahaprasad? So nice. Everywhere we went to devotees' homes, they would give Maharaj Mahaprasad all the time. And I would travel with Maharaj, and Maharaj would say, feed me, he's my representative. And I would eat too much. And I suffered a lot because of that. And then I realized, I asked Maharaj why. He said, I don't want to be a digesting machine. So that is a devotee's perspective. You eat to maintain your body. So when we cook something, sometimes we may have to skip masala. One of the things about masala, before I forget, I was in Chopati temple once in 10 years ago before I came to America. So, and the cook, the devotee who was doing the cooking, so we were doing lessons. So then I said, when you add spices to your cooking, add separately. Ye garam masala karte hai na? So all the ingredients of garam masala, I was adding separately. So garam masala, you put everything and put together. There is a difference between adding these masalas individually and putting them together as garam masala and just grinding them. What I realized was when you add them independently, there is so much more energy in them. It gives its individual flavor. So Ayurveda has 6 flavors that helps you digest better. Swadu. So a yogi's food should be swadu. Swadu means every vegetable, every fruit, every grain has sugar and salt. When you cook just enough without adding too much masala, before killing it with masala, om masala hai swaha. Before killing it with masala, everything has its own beautiful energy. Now, when you add proper spices, just enough spices to energize that food, then that food gives you the best output. But when you add too much masala, then the swadu, the taste, the energy of that mixes with too much masala. When you add too much chili or you add too much garam masala, all that. But if you add just enough, like, so ginger powder, turmeric, these are all healthy spices. And when you add just enough of that, then what happens? Then it gives you the healing effect. The food should be healing. So when you do like that, when you eat like that, so instead of adding, like, just make a garam masala and hot. So instead of that, make simple masala, whatever, instead of too many things, or you can add raw. That's a little tough, matlab, utna change, sattvic diet is tough. But instead of making too many spices, it should be minimum. Rupa Goswami also said, don't mix too many vegetables. So you eat like one, relish, taste, and digest it. You will feel so much better. The yogic books say that one should take like barley, red rice. इंडिया में वो शास्टी कान कजे राइस करके बोलता है कन्नड़ में. In Karnataka they call it kaje rice, red rice, not boiled, pre-boiled, not parboiled, but unboiled red rice. So red rice is the best. White rice में क्या होता है? That is why India has so much diabetes, because white rice has उसका सारा bran, husk सब निकाल के what they give you is just the white powder. That's all. That's why it has no energy quality anymore. So red rice has something. not brown rice. Brown rice, Prabhupada said, is for animals. So if you take red rice, and it's a little taste it may not be as good as white rice. So maybe little basmati rice you can do. And basmati means high quality basmati, because at least they don't tamper with that. I was in Maharashtra in Aravade, Loknath Swami's birthplace. And when I was there in Loknath Swami's birthplace, so uh, I visited the local farmers there. And when discussing with them, I asked them, they grow so much cauliflower, vegetables, everything. So I said, you use this cauliflower? He said, we don't use the cauliflower that we grow. You know why? To kill the worm in those cauliflowers, we use 20 times the pesticide. नहीं तो वो खा लेगा. Worm. To kill the worm, they literally put it in the water. So when that cauliflower is grown, it literally grows with the pesticide. So if the worm eats, he will die. But somehow people are surviving. That's why most people are sick. For us, he's saying, हम लोग काउ डंग से अलग से हमारे लिए grow करते हैं. And he showed me his separate garden. He said, you give people poison? This is our situation. So basically, if devotees, that's why Prabhupada said, one should, if you really want sattvic, you should grow your own, which is very important, which is tough also. It's not easy. We are all stuck up in the city, but we can try. At least some, India especially, it's very tropical. So you have the opportunity to grow your own, quite a bit, provided there is water, or source it from somebody who is organic, like devotees get together. The second thing in India is milk. India's milk production is the highest in the world, they say. But World Health Organization, when they did a test, they found that only 30% of India's milk is actual milk. 70% is chemical water. If you don't believe me, just go to YouTube and just Google this adulterated milk, making adulterated milk, India. Just see that video. Most of the chai, milk they sell in railway stations, all these public places, everybody, it is nothing but 1 liter of milk, 10 liters of soap water. He's making tea out of it and he's saying, "Arey, to taste to pata bhi nahi chalta." I was shocked. There is so much shortage of milk in India, actually speaking. How come you have paneer in every hotel? How come there is paneer in every hotel you go? Paneer this, paneer that. ये paneer आया कहाँ से? You see that video with that fake milk, then he's making paneer also with that. Somehow they found the mix in which you can make paneer also. And somehow it tastes like paneer also, but फीका taste. But it looks like paneer. हम तो मसाला मार देते हैं, बस. So the problem is, first of all, it is heavy. First of all, it is bad. On top of it, you can imagine it is adulterated. To speak, in Mayapur, if you go, they sell this Mayapur ghee. And we went and asked the Goshala in charge, ये इधर घी इधर बनता है क्या? इधर है 200 गाय, उसका सारा दूध तो भगवान को जाता है, ये घी बनाते किधर से हो? ये क्या है ना, हम लोग बाहर से फैट मंगाता है. इट कैन बी एनिमल फैट आल्सो. मंगा के हम बनाते हैं. It looks like that. You can see the ghee is very important, but you can see the texture of that ghee. That's how even in Mayapur also they are doing this. That we call Mayapur ghee. It is not even ghee. So the point is that first of all, most of the products that we get is adulterated. And the next thing is these snacks. Ye Haldiram, ye wo. Maggie. So the point is, these are all what they do in that to preserve it. They put pesticide. नहीं तो उसमें कीड़े निकलते हैं. Even sweets also. Sweets में कीड़े नहीं निकलते. In house you keep it for a few days, it gets fungus. Imagine they keep like for months. They keep it in the shop. So how can that be? So that is the point. So if you really realize, number one, you have to source very, very organic and very conscious if you want good health. Number two is when you cook, that is the second part. Avoid as much store-bought bread, biscuits. These biscuits are nothing but what they do is all the waste from all the vegetables, pumpkin skin, this, that, they all, uh, they all that waste from all that things, they make biscuits. That's why for children, it's good to fill the belly. I ate one Parle-G recently, one or two. Oh my God, I could see the sugar level shooting up. Sugar level shoots up like anything. These are white flour. This is just sugar. So one has to be very disciplined. If you give up all these snacks which you get from, and you don't know, I mean, one video they were showing how they make this pani puri ka wo jo hai atta. They were literally doing it with their feet. I mean, they don't even take bath. So how can you bring this pani puri thing and everything, and this vada pav? What I heard was this pav comes from this, they mix it with the dough, they mix it with the leg. In India, they don't have machines. Some companies have. But you never know to what degree cleanliness is being followed. India, there is no quality control, especially. So the thing is, what Krishna is pleased. So it's better to fast than eat things like that. Why? Prasanna Atmendriya Manaha. So whatever the consciousness somebody puts in, I met one devotee in Mangalore. He became a nice devotee. He used to sell chikkis, chikkis, chikki banate, oh, peanut chikki. And he said before he became devotee, all that chikki and all, he said, nahate bhi nahi, kuch bhi nahi, just वही sweat, ये वो, it goes into that, जल्दी जल्दी में बना दिया. उसके बाद शाम को आराम से नहाते. He said until he became devotee, he never followed cleanliness, but after becoming devotee, he realized what is he giving the people. वो पता भी नहीं चलता. He said all they make this, this homemade, this snack, this, that. It's all, first of all, you source the lowest quality of ingredients. And the second is you make it like the cheapest way possible. So we don't want to eat cheap. When somebody is making with that cheap mentality and then you eat that, you also become like that. So what you eat, you are eating consciousness. So very important for devotees to cook themselves, number one. Second is to source the right ingredients from the right farmers, On Facebook, there is one friend of mine, Vishal Joglekar. I don't know, some of you might be knowing from Bombay. He's making this Go Mata. And I think in India, it is doing good. So basically, if you use ghee is not cholesterol, Shuddh ghee, or sesame oil. Sesame oil is good. Good sesame oil, good quality sesame oil. Don't use vegetable oil, refined oil. That is not oil. वो क्या होता है? All the used oil from all industries, from all vegetable oils, everything. Because it stinks, they have to refine it. It stinks, so they have to refine it. So it is called as refined oil. It really stinks. So therefore it is called as refined oil. So if we really want to if we really want to refine our eating, then we should quit these cheap oils, Either use til oil, coconut oil, or ghee. Mm. And always cook fresh and cook just enough. If you cook a little less, it's fine. Drink more water, but don't overcook and waste. So then you will think, oh, ghar pe cook waste. Or okay, you can eat next day also. But wastage is also adds to pollution of the mind. Therefore, if we follow these protocols, so this is just a start. I will continue tomorrow also. Uh, so yes, so coconut oil, yes, we can use coconut oil also. Coconut oil is considered, I mean, one thing is it is widely available. So in this coconut oil is still very healthy fat. So but this vegetable oil, refined oil, they are not natural oils. So we should avoid that. So now I will leave it open to questions for the next 20 minutes. You can chat your questions, you can type it in. And what I'll do is I'll try my best to answer. And we will continue for the next 2 days with these themes. I'll give you what exactly to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we can discuss that in detail. But I have, in another 20 minutes, I have another class. So I have to finish this on time. So some of you may have questions. So whatever I have spoken today so far, so please feel free to ask. And you can, if not chat, you can ask by, you can unmute yourself and ask the question also. So Prabhuji, Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that food should be consumed within 3 to 4 hours, that is sattvic. Shouldn't we avoid eating the next day? So the thing is, you should not throw food. India, at least you can give it to the cows. So ideally, it should not be thrown. So you can give it to the cows or something. मतलब cows को अपना झूठा नहीं देना है. So whatever is remaining, cows or other animals, dogs or something like that. Or you put it in the below a tree, but you never throw it if you cannot eat it. So yes, freshly cooked, you can eat, consume within 3 to 4 hours. It is good. It is said in yoga also, yogic textbooks, when you heat food again and again and again, it loses its sattva, it loses its energy. So one should not reheat it. Thoda sa lukewarm karke lena hai. When you keep on boiling same thing 3-4 times, it becomes thick, it loses its energy. Yes, so that is why when you cook, you should also be aware of the quantity levels. Don't cook too much. Cook just enough and don't waste it. Keep a routine. If it is consumed quickly, it is good. But if not, don't waste it also. By night you finish it, or you can give it to the other neighbors, friends, like that. Okay. And better to avoid, but the thing is, instead of wasting, if it is something good, so don't waste it. You can still eat the next day. But in ideal case, yes, you should avoid. Is cake good to eat? No. Cake is simply like a festival thing. Cake is white flour and sugar. Dono sugar. Both convert into heavy sugar in your body. Ek chota sa piece. Yesterday was my Guru Maharaj Vyasa Puja. So I postponed the class. So I was watching Maharaj cutting a cake. But it did not have too much icing, this, that. But still it is made up of white flour or wheat flour, whatever flour is there. So cake in general, it is good to see. But sugars decrease moment you take sugar. The immunity of your body is reduced by 30%. By 30%. Is Go Seva ghee good? So the source, so there are, I don't know, I think there is one on Facebook. There are 2 people I know on Facebook. One is Rupesh Mahajan. I don't know, you can contact him. He does all this. And there is Vishal Joglekar, 2 people that I know from India who are actually, there might be many more devotees, though they actually make this ghee. And this ghee is made from curd, like dahi. 30 liters of dahi make 1 liter of cow ghee. And this ghee is amazing, very energizing. What is your opinion about refrigerated food? So refrigerated vegetables are good. So, but the thing is, once you cook a food, I have seen people who cook once a week and they refrigerate it and they keep eating it every day. So the point is, we are talking about three things. That is, um, Ayushyam, Tejam, Arogyam. So you are talking about Ayushyam, long life, Tejam, that is intelligence, and Arogyam. So to the degree the food is preserved, to the length, so it may have some nutrients, physical energy, but the mental energy is not there. So the spiritual energy is not there. So that is why cook fresh and eat. Especially the foods that they ready made जो आता है आपको just oven में डाल के गरम करना है, all that they are already pre cooked, and that and all is, and sometimes you bring that and you keep it in the fridge, जैसे ये burger वगैरह हो गया, frozen burger, frozen pizza, and these are all very bad for body. So the thing is, whatever you cook, eat, try to eat it fresh, and try to, and and not to keep it too much in the fridge. थोड़ा extra हो गया ठीक है, one day to maximum, I mean like absolutely maximum 2 days, because there are situations we cannot say no. It happens. Festival में बहुत ज़्यादा बना दिया, अभी फेंकने के बदले, okay, 2 days, don't not have to cook. But ideally it is not good. But what to do? But if you can cook just enough, finish. That is why in India, our parents, like our grandparents, whatever they cook, by the end of the day, they would give it to somebody. That is why giving charity was, instead of wasting, you give it in charity. कोई poor family को दे दो, प्रसाद मिलेगा. कोई animal को दे दो. So you don't waste it. You feed some poor family, and in that way, यहाँ पे तो नहीं कर सकते. US में it's tough, but in India you can do. You can feed, just pack it nicely and give it to somebody, instead of wasting. And I remember in our temple also, whatever extra was there, we used to just go and distribute to the homeless people. So charity is also very good. Food charity is very good, It will give you a lot of good karma also. Any bakery items with wheat flour, if used with homemade yeast, is good. So the thing is, if we can avoid yeast, it is good. And bread is actually not Brahminical in nature. Bread is Brahminical, means it's not brain food. So rotis in general, what we say, or you can bake some things, like we also sometimes make for the kids though. My wife makes, maybe we can share that recipe. She makes with, you get, what do you call it? Atta, like ragi, millet, all these things. Little white flour is there, but you can make a base. So even once in a rare while for the kids, we make pizza, But it is all, what we do is we use alternative flours. Ragi ho gaya, jwar, all these different things, healthy grains. So white flour you try to avoid. So when you make, like even when you make these stuffing लगा के, you put that spinach or या कुछ डालते हैं ना, like try to reduce aloo in your diet, because like I said, everything depends on air pressure. It is vata. So try to reduce, try to use more green vegetables. अभी puffs भी बनाते हैं, bakery item, I'm thinking like the puffs. So you try to reduce white flour. Whenever I used to fry something, rarely, but I used wheat flour. It becomes a little crunchy, but never white flour or something. Chana dal, theek hai, like that. Wheat flour, it's very healthy. So kind of, organic wheat flour. So if you also use the flour of good quality, then, the result will be good. And try to avoid the puffs, if whatever you make, and all the bakery products, all the sweets, non-katai, this, that, see, these are once in a while good. You see, so people are battling obesity today. That is because of sweet addiction. Ye bakery ka sweets and this bakery ka flour. People are fighting sweet addiction, cholesterol. So whatever you can make, a puffs, a sweet, everything, make it in limited. Once in a while, that's fine. Try to use gur instead of White sugar. White sugar is the biggest poison. Hmm? So what about groundnut oil? So groundnut oil is avoidable. Coconut oil is the best, but peanut oil they use in when they do in mass, Ekadashi ke naam pe and everything in temple the cooking they do it in a big way. So we basically we have to uh, try to take more sesame oil and coconut oil is fine or ghee. Then there is so much and so many other oils. So this is too much fat also, groundnut oil. So I would say too much groundnut oil is not good. Is it okay to take two meals, full meals, morning and evening? So the point is that this is in general what we do. So, but it depends upon your work level. So evening depends on how late you take. So if you have like a brunch, a good brunch, heavy, good brunch or a good lunch, then in the evening you eat little. Like yesterday we were making this video yesterday here. Me and my wife, I mean, we spent 2 hours, so 3 hours actually making the video. It is under production now. So that video we made a beetroot, like a kofta, very sattvic and no too much masala. It was very nice. It was a beetroot kofta that we made with quinoa instead of rice or everything. So we made that, and little bit got left over. So after my yoga practice, then I thought, why waste? Because I clean at night. So when I did that, I ate one or two extra. Just because I usually avoid eating at night, but just I was tempted because it is there, and there were only two left. So today morning I could really feel, oh my God, why did I eat? So the night, the lesser we eat, it is better. Night you should take hot milk. So night ko you just take sabjis, like that, something like that, instead of taking rice, paratha, because the carbs take a lot to digest. Vegetables take little less. Fruits, raw salads, fruits, they digest very fast. Sprouts. We have to incorporate a lot of sprouts. I will talk about it tomorrow. Is cheese good? No. Prabhupada was against cheese because it is artificially cultured. And like I said, we do the pizza just for the kids basically because they eat, or when sometimes we have so many guests over. So we try to avoid cheese because in general, because cheese is heavy on digestion. Moreover, it's like a comfort food. It's really like a comfort food. Means comfort food means सात्विक खाना जब खाते हैं, you measure your quantity. But when you eat rajasic and tamasic, you do not measure the quantity. You just eat it, You just heavy, you just eat it. That's how it goes. So we have to be very, very careful. What do you think about intermittent fasting? Yeah, that is what is Chandrayana. So you eat at a fixed time, depending on the phase of the moon. So I can talk a lot about intermittent fasting, but I intend to speak on it maybe tomorrow or day after. So I will speak in detail about it, what fasting does to you. That's a very detailed topic. So I will talk about it in very detail. Prabhuji, what is your opinion over effect of cooking appliances on food cooked? Yes, very good question. The worst appliances to use are aluminium. So aluminium is good to make an aeroplane, but aluminium is poison. It can cause autism. It can cause autism. Aluminium is poison. So if you really want good health, so stainless steel, cast iron, copper, और पानी जो पीते हैं, copper and silver. Overnight you keep the water, copper and silver pots. Why do they used to use silver pots? Not to show their richness. But जो mineral water करके बेचते हैं ना, it is just you soak the water in copper overnight and you drink it. and silver. So, of course, silver is tough, but copper and silver, so all these things, or stainless steel, but never use aluminium. Aluminium is very, very, what do you call it? Very, very poisonous. So, mud pots are also good, mud pots and everything. So, they are also very good. Is animal product from milk compulsory for vegetarians good health? Not necessarily. But Prabhupada said milk is good. So Prabhupada says milk is the most wonderful of all foods. So, but the point is you have to get milk. That's the point. I mean, good milk. If it is desi breed, you drink at night, it's very healthy. If it's desi breed and you drink at night, it becomes very, very healthy. So,
when I use milk, I get very cough.
yeah, milk is cough, correct. So that is why you can add turmeric. So to avoid the cough, we actually add turmeric at night. That is one way. But even after that, you have to have, then you reduce or you can skip. I mean, it's not 100% needed. But if it is there, it's okay. But milk in general is good. Like my Guru Maharaj takes milk every night. Of course, he takes ahimsa milk. But milk with turmeric. Turmeric, or you can add a little ginger also. Ginger powder. Ginger powder also reduces cough. Do you add turmeric? No, I guess.
Yeah, I add turmeric.
But still you get cough.
What is the proportion? What is the proportion? Any proportion we should maintain?
So 1 spoon you have to add. Also, if not, you can add also little ginger powder, dry ginger powder. So it depends on the milk also. If it is,
I will try.
What is that? You can.
I will try this with ginger.
Yeah, ginger powder. You can try a little bit. So that is the best way to take it. Yeah, milk is not 100% necessary, but when you take it, if it is causing cough, some people it causes cough. Turmeric and ginger powder is good. Okay, so what is the next question? What about using earthen pot for cooking except Ekadashi? Yes, mud pot I said very clearly. You can use mud pots. Mud pots are the best. But you have to soak it properly or something like that. Make all the process and then cook in that. What about pressure cooker? Pressure cooker is okay. In the sense it cooks faster. Prabhupada used pressure cooker, the 3-tier pressure cooker to cook rice, dal, sabji in one place. So it's okay if it is stainless steel. 80% pressure cookers in the market are aluminum. You need actually stainless steel. I was shocked. I went to the Indian stores here. It's all aluminum and all coming from India. Not one stainless steel was there. I was shocked. Now, when you cook with such poisonous aluminum under pressure, it's poison. So you should use stainless steel. What about use of induction plates, microwave? So that is not good. Induction is actually very bad. Fire is first class.
When you cook either rice or dal openly, while cooking, you take out that dust, water comes up. But when you cook in pressure cooker, you will not be able to take out that. So many people advise that you don't use pressure cooker.
See,
It always good to use.
pressure cooker is a matter of convenience. It's a matter of time. Like I said, Prabhupada used it, but it was rice dal subject. He did not have enough time for this. We made that dal video. I don't know. I shared it on the WhatsApp our group. We made that dal. In that, like exactly like you said, my wife takes out the foam, on the top. She does do that, but we
Because
deleted that from the video.
I have seen,
Yeah, so we
yeah, because
deleted
I
that.
have seen
Mm-hmm.
in one of the factory
Mm-hmm.
how they do the polish to the dal. They use oil and they use many other ingredients to polish. It should
Uh,
shine.
yeah, yeah.
So when you cook it, that has to be taken out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So that's why she did that. We never use pressure cooker though. We don't use pressure cooker. We cook it open. But in general, it's a matter of convenience. Rather than eating outside, that is like something you do it quickly. That's all. That's the only convenience with that. So
Okay.
Prabhupada used it as a method of saving time. That's all. So on
Okay.
weekdays, if husband wife both are working, so we won't eat outside. That's okay. That's the last option. So I would put it that way. So okay. Last two questions. I'm already coming to my 8:30, so I will just last quick questions. Is commercial dairy products, example Amul, safe to consume as there is lot of violence? No, that is the point. That we should try to avoid. And see, butter is actually not good for our health. Ghee is good.
Okay.
बटर में कुक करना अच्छा नहीं है. When you make dosa or something, dosa के ऊपर you can put butter, but बटर इसमें डाल के तवा में डाल के कुक करना, that is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Ghee is good because ghee is already cooked, finally cooked. So that is why we use ghee. So commercial dairy ka, Prabhupada said, for example, Amul mostly makes buffalo ghee. But there is a lot of, see, the thing is, that is some last option, their ghee is at least ghee, and of course there is adulteration. You cannot expect everything pure. So best is, India has so many devotees now. If all devotees can get together and actually source from one place, and like if you can connect with these devotees in Bombay who are selling this milk products and ghee and everything, then it will help you. The next one, the last one. Prabhuji, Teflon tawa is not good. Yes, it is poison because it is just a cover.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yes.
said
What
you
is
should
the
use
not?
you should use
What is it? Did not use it.
what do you call it? Stainless steel or cast iron.
Cast iron.
Yeah, cast iron, stainless
Beetle.
steel or copper. Last is copper agar milta hai to. But stainless steel and cast iron. Cast iron in general works really good.
Yeah. Yes. I use cast iron.
We use
Cast iron.
use करा तो use करना.
Okay.